tax season, America. Time to make the most out of your tax return with Maaco. Our expert paint and body specialists will give your car a new look. And since Maaco's tax season paint sale starts at just $3.99, your wallet will have a new look too. Maaco, America's Body Shop.
New Yorkers, there's a new dream team in town. SNY on New York One, presented by Ram. SNY is best in the Big Apple sports coverage every night on New York One, live at 10. SNY on New York One, presented by Ram. Your favorite teams, brought to you every night. Brought to you by Ram Trucks. From towing to hauling, work or play, Ram will power you through it. See a Ram dealer or log on to ramtrucks.com.
We only have 30 seconds to describe the newest specialty flavor in the signature crafted recipes collection by McDonald's, garlic wedge.
Okay, it's April 7th, 2018. See, I'm going to look at New York One today because it's Saturday. The Bloomberg doesn't have show the markets moving with the live movement of the markets, but which helps confirm the date and the time. It's 9:30 a.m. It's April 7th, 2018. We're looking out of the windows of 255 West 43rd Street in Manhattan, looking direction north and west about 20 to 30 degrees at the Twin Chimneys, operated by John's Pizzeria. Their entrance open to the public is 260 West 44th Street.
It turned out to be a piece of a welding torch. Full transcripts of 911 calls have also been released. The NYPD is encouraging victims of sexual assault to come forward with a new campaign. Ads for the Call Is Yours will be posted around the city on subways and buses. Today is going to be a chilly and a gray day with temperatures peaking in the upper 40s. And the MTA wants to make sure you stay cool this summer as well, promising working AC units in all subway cars. We will have more on all our top stories, but first a look at the forecast. A chilly and gray day is in store. We have temperatures peaking in the upper 40s today. The sun will be back out tomorrow, but it stays chilly. Highs in the upper 40s. For next week, we have a warming trend and shower chances. Remember, your next weather check is just 10 minutes away. Police are looking for the driver who hit a 13-year-old boy at a Queens intersection and kept going. We want to warn you, what you're about to see is disturbing. You can see the boy crossing the intersection here at 37th Avenue and 101st Street in Corona. Before that black SUV drives into the crosswalk and hits him, the driver never stopped. The teen was conscious when EMTs arrived. He was taken to the hospital with a leg injury and is expected to be okay. If you have any information, you are being asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-8477. A funeral was held for a woman who was fatally stabbed inside a Brooklyn deli. 20-year-old Ebony Young was stabbed in the chest on Broadway and Malcolm X Boulevard in Bushwick last week. Police say she was killed by another woman who she had gotten into an argument with at a nearby hotel. Investigators say the two women knew each other. Family and friends say Young was a strong woman with a bright future. Her mother made an emotional plea to her daughter's attacker yesterday.
Like I said before, turn yourself in. Because the more you run, the more time you're going to get.
Investigators are also looking for the driver of the gray BMW that was waiting for the woman. Tensions remain high in Crown Heights after Wednesday's deadly police shooting. This comes as police release longer surveillance videos of the events that led to the death of Saheed Vassell. Angie Gonzalez has that story from Brooklyn.
A heavy police presence was still visible on street corners and rooftops Friday at the Crown Heights intersection where police shot and killed 34-year-old Saheed Vassell days earlier.
For justice, you know what I'm saying? Look what they doing to my boy.
Tensions have been high following the incident on Wednesday, which authorities say came to a head when Vassell pointed what 911 callers described as a gun at officers. Police have now identified the object as a welding torch, which fueled outrage among community members who knew Vassell, a man his family has said suffered from bipolar disorder.
Everybody know you got these mental problems, but he don't trouble nobody in the streets.
But the NYPD saying in the interest of full transparency, released more surveillance video of Vassell's actions before authorities arrived on the scene and the full transcripts of the 3 911 calls made to emergency dispatchers.
We're trying to focus on transparency. That's why the 911 transcripts are out, the video is out. And obviously, as we have body cameras, ultimately by the end of this year on all of our patrol officers, again, whenever legally appropriate, we'll be putting that out in short order. And I think it's important for people to see the whole context, but we can't pass judgment until these full investigations take place.
The mayor has ordered a full investigation into what happened, one that will be led by State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman. Still, some say they already know enough about what happened to come to their own conclusions.
I don't blame the officer, and I'm not saying they're not wrong or they're right. They didn't have to give him 9 shots though.
Those who disagree with the police response have vowed to keep this case in the public eye. It'll be the focus of a Saturday rally organized in part by Reverend Al Sharpton. In Crown Heights, Brooklyn, Angie Gonzalez, New York 1.
UFC star Conor McGregor is arraigned on assault charges after that bus attack inside Barclays Center. He's been charged with 3 counts of misdemeanor assault and criminal mischief for allegedly attacking a bus filled with other Ultimate Fighting Championship fighters on Thursday afternoon. He was released on $50,000 bond. Fighter Kian Cowley, who was part of McGregor's entourage, also faces charges. The judge ordered McGregor to stay away from some of the other fighters, including on social media. They say a feud between McGregor and another fighter may have sparked the incident.
There was a dispute about a vacated title, and from what we understand, the person who we had the dispute with or was arguing with was not injured. He was on the bus though.
McGregor was caught on camera lifting a barricade, trying to throw it at the bus. He then apparently hurled a hand dolly through the window, injuring 2 fighters. Both those fighters were taken off the card that's scheduled for tonight's event at Barclays. A 3rd fighter, Artem Lvov, was also yanked from the card. That's for allegedly participating in the incident. McGregor is due back in court June 14th. The NYPD is rolling out a new campaign that encourages victims of sexual assault to come forward. Ads for The Call Is Yours will appear on buses, cabs, and subways. The department says high-profile cases have changed the climate surrounding sexual assault.
I think this is a national trend that we're seeing people all over the country thinking about because of highly publicized sexual assaults, highly publicized allegations and complaints, lots of media coverage to complaints about events that have happened a long time ago. Victims are naturally thinking about, it's not that they haven't been thinking about these events, but they're now naturally more inclined to think about the benefit of reporting.
Police want individuals to come forward even if they believe a crime might exceed the statute of limitations. Some states are sending a surge of National Guard members to the U.S.-Mexico border. This comes after President Trump called for protection against drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Officials in Arizona and Texas say they will send a total of 400 members over the next week. Texas National Guard troops have already been at the border, but will deploy 250 additional troops this weekend. White House said even more could be deployed in the future.
It's going to be as many as it takes. We're looking at what that needs to be, and we're going to move forward in the process. The president thinks that's a good first step to have 2,000 to 4,000, and if we determine that we need more, we'll make that decision at the time.
Secretary of Defense James Mattis signed an order that would fund up to 4,000 National Guard members deployed to the border through September. As the president sends troops to the border with Mexico, he's also looking to end one immigration policy in particular. He signed a memo yesterday that looks to end the catch and release policy. That practice refers to the release of unauthorized immigrants while they're waiting for court procedures. The memo calls on his administration to study ways to end that policy altogether. This move is the latest in a series of crackdowns aimed at people who are here illegally. A settlement is reached in a lawsuit filed by several NYCHA tenants. The suit demanded that the city's housing authority improve mold and moisture issues in NYCHA properties. The settlement includes a full rollout of the Mold Busters program, which includes improved training for staff and the use of new tools to detect excessive moisture. NYCHA also agreed to appoint an independent investigator to respond to tenant complaints about mold and leak repairs.
The Ombudsman will be able to address any individual's needs with respect to mold. NYCHA will hire a mold expert and also a data analyst who will help make sure that the work is being done effectively.
The new agreement requires mold or leaks to be fixed within 7 to 15 days. We are still waiting for some proper spring weather, but the MTA chief wants to get our subways ready for summer. Joe Lota said no New Yorker should have to sweat on the subway, and he says he wants working air conditioning units in all the cars. He and Governor Cuomo were checking on subway car repairs at a yard yesterday. Workers there are fixing the air conditioning units on cars before the temperatures pick up.
We want to make sure that there are no hot cars. So we're looking at each and every one of our air conditioning units throughout the entire system and refurbishing them and getting them ready. In the event one does break down, it can snap out and another one can be put in right away. New Yorkers deserve to be able to get into a system and not be overheated because the air conditioning is down.